This is for National Scrapbooking Month for May. This is a special campaign that's available in May and I believe will be available in June. I will be doing an online crop in June for this campaign. So I'm actually going to show you all of these patterns up close and personal and give you an idea of what you can do with it. The colors are Desert Rose, Peach, Harbor, Sage, and Sundance. So here you have Sage and Harbor, Craft or Toffee. If you flip it over, you have this beautiful vine pattern. So those are your two patterns right there. Now the polka dot, this is Harbor and Peach, believe it or not. But when you flip it over, it is actually pocket cards. So we'll be using one sheet for pocket cards and a sheet just as you see here for the polka dots. There's also stripes, but when I turn it over, it has all of these beautiful strips that we'll use. So each sheet so far will be its separate own. Then we have a tone on tone. Now this is going to be a little sneak peek of a new color called Pine. So if you flip that over, that is another like a picture my life kind of card or cut apart paper that we'll be using this way. And then we have this pattern, which is Desert Road, tone on tone flowers. So it's Desert Rose and Peach work really well together. And then if you flip that over, we have this really pretty Sundance, which I love, the brightness. And then we have these daisies. So you have your Craft, your Sage, your Ponderosa, a little bit of Harbor, a little bit of your Sundance here, which flips over into this beautiful floral pattern of bright, bolder colors. All right. So that's the beautiful paper pack, which is $9.95. If you get it with the sticker sheet, it's $13.95. So I want to show you this sticker sheet. So if you do like the idea of doing things that are more comfort related, hope, kindness, heart, so you're going to love it. Beautiful borders, flowers, some dovetails, circles. So you'll see what I mean. This is Pine, but it has like a design to it, like a brush stroke. When you flip it over, it's got a textured look, a little bit richer and light and dark. It's just, I love it. I love the cardstock. I want a couple of packs for myself. I just love that right there. So that's your Pine. Same thing with the Sage. So here you can definitely see it has that stripe brush stroke going with it. This is your Harbor. So once again, you have that pattern and then you have that other tone on tone. So it's solid, but yet it has a little texture look to it. Not glossy, matte. Now here's your Peach, very pretty. And then it has this Craft pattern with a stripe, but it's a Craft on the other side. And then this one is your Craft or Toffee color, which flips over to the white. So it has this border all the way around it. I really love this collection. So you can see you have two sheets like that. Now this here are die cuts. So Close to My Heart is doing their own die cuts, and I want to show you how it comes. So it comes in its own Ziploc bag. It's a full 12 by 12 sheet, Craft and white. So I wanted to show you that you can see through some of them. That's why I'm putting the white paper underneath so you can maybe see a little bit better. There are a lot of pieces. The words are happy, hello, sweet, love. There's florals, hearts, dovetails. I like that some things have the dots. Some things have the diagonal. Some have a plaid. I'm really having fun with this particular collection, and I think you would too. It's just so pretty. Really, really pretty. Then we have this Hope and Kindness stamp set in thin cut. So let me show you that. So you can see how big the words are. And then you have all these flowers are thin cuts, and beautiful and heart are also thin cuts. And you always know that when you look at the stamp set and you can see a line around those images, that means they have a thin cut. So this, they all do, and even the heart. See, now you can see some of the cards, but this is stunning. This is probably going to sell out. With the product bundle, this is included. It's almost like getting it for free. It's almost a 6-inch scallop, and this is a 3-inch. So if I'm cutting these, I'm going to use a 6x6 or a 3x3 paper swatch to cut them. They are just gorgeous. Really beautiful. They do nestle if you wanted to do something like that, but you don't have to. So I will be using the stamp of the month is You Can Do Anything. I'm excited to show you what I did with this. So this is National Scrapbooking Month, Hope and Kindness product line. So my thought was something more along the lines of travel. Thinking about, I saw this layout here, and I love this sticker, Let Your Heart Be Your Compass. I like the idea that you can use this for travel, and so I've kind of replicated this page but changed it up a little bit. And this could be a title of an album. But I'm thinking like travel, that being like weekend retreats, bed and breakfast. Maybe you're going to see the family just for the weekend. You're going on a getaway for a weekend or a short trip or vacation that's not tropical, something that you can use these layouts for, but you can also use them for everyday life. So here's the page that I'm telling you about, and you can see this beautiful lace is there, a little bit of sponging. You can see I'm using those chipboard pieces. I'm doing some creative sticker cutting, and I'm using travels. You can change out the title to whatever you want, but I'm loving the gold gems with this, and that is just sponged in. Now, you will be using a lot of micro mini glue dots to glue these down. I found them to work really great. So that would be my title. I really didn't want everything to be so flowery, so I tried to break it up a little bit, but I love this idea. I'm nestling some of the stickers here. Love the pine, the craft, the Sundance, and then adding, you know, our featured pieces of craft pieces. You can see how it's nicely layered. And then our day, cutting up some pieces. And this actually was just, I couldn't believe I found that this fit perfectly. This wood, the craft paper fit perfectly on top of this particular sticker to highlight those. I loved the way that came out. That's a really fun design element on this particular layout. You can see how those gold gems really pop a little bit, and just, you know, there's layering in here, and it's taken me a lot of time to put this, these layouts together. There's a lot of paper and pieces to work with, and I want it to always look good, but I love the way it came out. It's very pleasing to the eye, but I can see doing this for travel. Love that. Isn't that pretty? And these are just cutting some of the pieces out of the paper. So there's a little bit of fussy cutting as well. Okay. So loving this one. I had this idea. So using the marker, that brown marker, is creating that edge all along the bottom of our paper all around. And I loved doing that with the ruler and the marker. Sponging adventures and using the craft pieces. And here you could see the stamp of the month, the mountains. Now, if you were going to the canyons, you could change this out to be using the Desert Rose paper. You can also use some of the Sundance paper, browns, reds. Maybe you're going to Red Rocks, Sedona, Arizona. This would still work for something like that. So I like doing adventures and happy tales instead of trails. Something a little different. But this, the clouds, the birds, this is all out of the stamp of the month. And just changing it up a little bit and using all of my pieces and just having the creative juices were flowing. They had to flow. It didn't come easy, but I got there. Love the way this came out. This is some of my favorites. Now, this is actually the first set. This is the first layout or second layout I made. And I am using a 4x6 flip flap here. Do everything in love. You can do with love, whatever, but I love the look of it. So here's where we are using some of those flowers that are stamped and colored in. I don't know if you can get a really good look at the beautiful color with the markers and the details using those markers. Here's the word beautiful that is in the Harbor ink on Harbor cardstock. I did use a little bit of shimmer brushing just on these pages here. I used Harbor and Peach, and I think everybody pretty much has a lot of these things. Now, treasure these beautiful, could be moments, it could be time, could be days, whatever it is that you want it to say, you can change this out. This was from the stamp set, Featured Attractions. Just a little bit of shimmer brushing on here just to give it that little extra sparkle. Once again, you can see that lace and those flowers are stamped and colored in with marker. So love the color combination of the peach and the Harbor together. So now you can see how I did this. And guess what? You have to cut it out. You have to do this in order to use it on another layout. Okay, now we're going back into the green. So Sweet is a chipboard piece that's in that collection, Moments again, but it could be anything you want to change this out to. You're more than welcome to do so. Loving the doily done with that Sundance pattern paper. And just layering the craft pieces, the colors. And once again, I did use an insert in order to use it onto the next page. And if you could see, this is the that blue vintage marker doing that same look along the edge. I just love what you can do with those markers and how it just changes the look. And the butterfly, just all the little details. And this will have, this is where you can do some of your journaling, and this is a flip flap that flips up this way. When I travel, I think of highlights. There are times where, you know, you actually have photos that maybe you haven't used on your page, but you want to highlight what you're doing or where they were. But you can change this title out to whatever you want. I did not sponge it. You can make this whatever you like, but I love the combination of papers that I used here, the stripes, the florals, the peach, the sage, and it just works so well. And now this is on white. Everything else was on French vanilla, so you need French vanilla cardstock. This is the only white daisy page I used, and that's because of the stripe. Just loving the look of the details. So you have a little story to tell here. So you love this. Whatever you'd like to write there, where you were here, and just using my stickers and cutting them apart, different pieces. I just love all the details that are on these pages. But you can see how each page is completely different. Nothing looks the same. All my design work, I try really hard in making them look special and something that you'd like to create. So I don't know which ones are your favorites, but they're all so different, and I love that about it. But yet they can work together in a book that you can tell your story.